Hey, good morning again, Bob Trade Genius. Still the weekend of the 11th of November. I want to walk through my ETFs here on a daily and just give you some perspective on it's probably about 25 or 30 of them here, so I'll blast through. But hey, with SPY here, I think we're getting some divergence. This is money flow information, and you see we're making a lower high here, and we made higher highs with price. So for me, if I get a break of my blue dots here, assuming they don't go higher, I'll be able to sell some credit spreads on a break of the trend change. There's just no way I'm shorting SPY until we start getting some normal volatility back in the market. Speaking of volatility, is that we'll have to see here. If we go to options expiration this week and we roll it back down, but um, definitely the VIX is having a hard time breaking down here, and so I think it's going to take away the VXY put trade probably after next week here, unless we get a pop. But if if the VXX gets up to here, that'll be a nice little Christmas present for us. And then we have Thanksgiving week coming too. So, but there's just not a lot left in the tank here, at least short term on shorting vol. But we had a successful XIV trade on Friday, but just a day trade. Okay, we have Nugget puts, and I think there's rejection here on the 100-day moving average, and I think this is going to roll over and roll down. Okay, I brought EEM in here. I'm going to start tracking it now too. But this, it's also made, new high, and then here, but money flow is not cooperating. So, we could see a push down. I think we're going to see a strong dollar move here. So that's not going to be good for the market. It's not going to be good for the gold, silver, and not good for emerging markets. So I put this on here more for perspective at this point, but this is not a good sign for the economy for when the high yield bonds are starting to roll over. Okay, same with the Qs, new highs, waning money coming in, so pushing on a string time. And it's same, if you want to do credit spreads against the Qs, wait for the trend dots to change. I did them already broke, and so it has had a flat top. The old saying is flat top, get out. But I think now you're probably looking for a move back to the 100-day would probably be likely. Short term VWAP right below it. That's probably the play. Okay, oil. I talked about oil in my last video. I'm not quite sure. Short term, it definitely looks way overbought on the daily here. The weekly definitely looks like it's a breakout, so it could test the breakout, which will bring oil down. But then longer term, it's gonna fly higher. So I'm kind of both sides of my mouth right now. I'm long oil futures and I'm long USO puts. And that's kind of where I'm going to stay at the moment. Okay, I brought China into this thing. China actually looks good, so any pullback, I guess it's an opportunity to go ahead and buy it. I haven't really followed the international stuff too much, but I'm going to start following China again. Okay, XLE looks like a bull flag to me. If you're a drip buyer, I wouldn't get into drip just yet, but we'll see if this thing breaks through. But if it breaks this flag here, it's going into the low to mid 70s, and I think you can see the energy names starting to move. Okay, XIV, we actually had a profitable day trade even with that candle. It's amazing. We made 1%, and now it looks heavy to me. That's why I said I think the market's due for some sort of correction here. You know, there's waning interest also in XIV, which has just been a miracle drug. And I definitely could see it come down, you know, to here, or to here pretty quickly. Okay. We got a little trend change in Japan. Okay, and a little island top here. That's what I'm saying. I think the dollar's going to get stronger. I think something's up, and so we can have some weakness here in the market. Silver, actually, silver's just kind of neutral. So sorry, dog barking. And but silver's neutral right now. You know, the gold itself, it's neutral too, but it looks like it's ready to weaken. Kind of watching it. It's underneath its 100, underneath its VWAP, and if money flow rolls over, gold could fall with it. We had a great run with natural gas. You know, I'm looking for some consolidation, but the weather reports are coming in really cold, so this thing could just keep on keeping on, and I may have to roll right back into some futures again on Sunday night. But this isn't ending anytime soon. It might consolidate, but you know, 7 I think is really possible. 8's in the realm of possibilities as well. Okay, biotech. I've been trading biotech with a calendar spread, and now it's a diagonal calendar. So I'm looking for a short-term push up towards 84 on this. You know, it's bounced off right around the its 100-day here, and its VWAP, and then from there I think it could roll back over, because I think it's putting a little head and shoulder pattern here too. But I think it might be a little opportunity for a little quick pop short term, and I'm playing it that way. And then if it starts to roll over, I'll just take the short leg off and ride the long puts down. DBA now has spent a couple weeks above its 100-day moving average. Something to keep an eye on. The ag stocks have been long suffering. Okay, I put this platinum one in there just more of it for some information for me, but it looks pretty flattish. Lithium, I'm looking for my next opportunity to buy lithium puts, and we caught this trade here, and now I'm just waiting. And you know, I think once people realize, you know, the Tesla thing, everything's getting a little ahead of itself, I think we're going to see a push down again in lithium prices. But right now, can't touch it, it's just grinding. So waiting for my trend dots to change. Cocoa, I took it off my list a while back because it just was no volume in it, but volume's coming into cocoa here, nib, and I think there's a great opportunity here. Look at this blast off here. Love for it to come back and then buy it again. Coffee, cocoa, and sugar all like to drive together. So sugar's starting to break out. Coffee's still in a little bit of a funk, and I think it's an opportunity. That's the best opportunity. Speaking of which, so I have a buy-in at 16 in case they try to drive it back down again. But if these trend dots change, then I'm going to have to just go ahead and maybe put a buy stop in here at 1663, and just for like a third of the position, and then keep my powder dry if it pushes down. But you know, this area here has just been the absolute low, and the last time we had these really strong La Niñas, this was in the 40s. So just for perspective, good risk return opportunity. Here's sugar. Sugar broke over the 100, so something to keep an eye on. Okay, this has just been, it's in our Chinese story. More of an opportunity to see we roll into recession. This would be a great one to buy some puts on. Okay, SALJ broke below its band here, but I think we have a couple weeks to go. I think they're all going to wait to see what they do with the December meeting. You know, Yellen's out, so, you know, not sure. People say she won't do anything, so she can't be blamed, which would then definitely help the metals and miners, where she can go out and say, I'll do the right thing, and you know, in her mind, and I'll tighten credit. So I think the precious metal markets are kind of waiting on that. So probably we have 3-4 weeks, I think, of potential weakness, And but this breakdown here is not good. Corn, I think corn's washed out again. If you like to trade it between 17 and 18, I'd go ahead and take a shot here. Wheat already had a little bit of a bounce. It's way underneath everything, but it just hasn't had, there's no scarcity in it right now. Okay, the yen I put on there just for reference to see where it stands in terms of, because it's a funding mechanism for the market. It's way oversold too. I think it has a chance to come up here to 86, and if it does that, it definitely devastate the markets. Copper rolled over. I'm looking for copper to come back and test its 100-day. Steel breaking down too. So we'll see if it bounces off of here. It has been staying above the 100-day, so you have to, that has to be your first choice on it. So if this breaks up and you get above, 42.21, at least as we're looking at it today, then you should probably take it for a chance for a 5% move. Okay, JJG's just been flat. Soybeans, they said, is the one to watch in a La Nina year, so I have it on here. It's popped up from September, but it's been pretty flat since then. Soil is the ag chems. Okay, I'm looking for it to come down to here, at worst case here, and then I think I'll start accumulating it and see if we get a 10 or 15% move out of it. And we're back to SPY. So that's kind of what I'm watching right now, and I think next week it's kind of difficult to judge. It looks weak, but options expiration weeks typically are not weak, but everything points to weakness in the market next week. So just be careful out there. My focus is really on the energy side, and I'll do another video this weekend just looking at energy stocks. I think the weather and geopolitics are going to support it, and if they lose control of the energy markets just like in 2008, then they'll lose control of the stock market eventually, because the Federal Reserves around the world cannot inject liquidity into rising energy prices. That's how revolutions occur. So they'll have to pull off the gas and maybe even tap the brakes, and then it'll cause some really interesting pullbacks in the stock market, because we are mega leveraged. You guys have a good one, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.